Hi, and welcome back to Life of Posey. Today, I'm here with my sweet little Posey girl, and we're going to show you how to make a dog dress pattern. Okay, first things first. You're going to take your sweet little dog and take her measurements. We're going to start with the neck measurement with a tape measure such as this. Wrap it around the dog's neck and record this measurement. We follow 8.5. Record it. Her chest measurement all the way around the widest part. Bring this up, and we are at 14. The base of her neck to the base of her tail. Right here. Next, we will measure armpit to armpit on the other side. All the way across, right here. 9 inches. From the base of her neck to how far she comes to this pit area. For me, it's about 2.5. I like to take is just the width of the back of her neck. That falls at 2.5. Posey, you watching Mama do her pattern making? You're a good girl. Yes, you are. Okay, once you have your measurements all written down, it's time to start drawing out our pattern. To make our pattern, we're going to start out with something like a paper bag if you have a small dog, or if you have a larger dog, you'll want to use something like gift wrapping tissue paper as I have here. Alrighty, here's an example of what our pattern will look like. This one I made quite a while ago and use it to this day. But today we're going to make it out of tissue paper. Now, for the chest, we need to add 2 inches to each side of the straps in order to leave room for Velcro closure. So, we are going to say plus 4 inches to give a total of 2 inches on each side of this. We also need to add some inches to the neck because we need to allow a Velcro closure. Again, I like to add about 2 inches on each end, which would be 4 inches. So we are adding 4 more inches. To all of these numbers, we need to add 1/2 inch seam allowance. Knowing all of these things, we can start making our drawing onto the tissue paper. Okay, now that we have all of our measurements ready to go, we have our tissue paper here, and we're gonna start by doing the waistline. Posey's waist was 14 inches, and we're going to add those extra 4 inches for the Velcro plus seam allowance, leaving us at 19. So I'm going to put this down here at the base and mark 19 inches, right about there. Now we need to decide how thick we want this waistband that wraps around the dog. I want her waistband to be about 3 inches, so I'm going to go up to 4, leaving 1/2 inch seam allowance for each. So I'm going to mark 4 on both sides. And mark all the way up to this 4-point mark with a straight edge. Okay, this side we already have the edge going to there. Next, we're going to find the center of this. Well, if this was 19 inches across, 1/2 of that would be 9.5. So I'm going to take this and lay it at the bottom and mark 9.5, which is right here. This is the bottom. We're gonna mark the back of her neck. We're gonna go up the center here and mark the back. Well, we know that Posey's whole neck to tail is 10. We want this bodice to be 1/2 of that. with our seam allowance being 6, we're gonna lay this on the bottom and come up and mark 6 right here. There is the base of her neck, and it's centered with this. We're also gonna come down from here and to mark where her armpit is. Well, we know that my measurement from her neck to her pit was 2.5, so I'm gonna mark that right now. I'm not adding any extra seam allowance to this spot. Okay, so there it is. Now, this mark we can use to mark where her pits are on the side. This just helps us to know where it is. So, we know that for Posey, pit to pit, she is 9 inches. I'm going to add my 1/2 inch seam allowance for both sides, giving us a total of 10. Finding the 5 and marking it in the middle. Put the 5 in the middle. Make sure that you're even all the way across. Luckily for me, this board has some grooves and lines to follow, so I can mark it. I'm gonna put a little mark here and a little mark here. These 2 marks right here, I'm gonna make them X's because we're gonna connect these later. Okay, we are going to add the width of the back of Posey's neck. We measured that it was 2.5, and we're gonna mark it as 2.5. Putting this right in the center and marking at 2.5 and 2.5. We do not add extra on this portion. We already have the 2.5, so now we need 10 more. Half of that is 5. So we put 5 here, and we mark up here, and then the other 5 here, and mark up here. Now this can be straight or at a slight angle, whichever you prefer. So now we can draw our U-shape neckline, just like so. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect, just draw it on. Now we need to determine how wide we want these straps. It depends on your dog. I want to make mine about 3. All we have to do is connect these areas. We're gonna connect the end of this with this and this. 1, 2, 3. Now, you can cut the whole thing out, or you can do something even better, in my opinion, and fold it in half right on these little center dots that we had that kept everything centered. Line that all up. Now we can cut it out, and it'll be nice and symmetrical. So now we can open up our pattern and see that it's all nice and even. The most important step is to take your pattern and fit it to your dog to make sure you made it accurately. Wrap it around and make sure that all of these add up. If you see that any of them are too long, you can take a little bit off, but you want this to reach around a bit. I think I have it a little too long. There. Make your adjustments. And this looks good. Perfect. If you found that you needed to make any adjustments, go ahead and take those off now. Posey's strap was a little too long, so I'm removing that and matching it up to the other side. Make sure that those are all removed and that you record what you clipped off. And now, there you have it. We've completed a dog dress pattern. Well, there you have it. I'm so glad you followed along today as we learned how to draw a dog dress pattern. I hope that you found it helpful and that you'll give it a try. Remember, don't get frustrated, just go for it. You will be very happy that you did. And remember to make changes where you need to until this pattern fits your dog properly, and then cut it out of fabric. If you're wondering where's the second half of this dress, the skirt, well, I'm gonna show you how to do that in an upcoming video. I never make a pattern for the skirt because it is so simple. So be watching for that video. I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video and that you'll give this a thumbs up and leave any questions or comments down below, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.